Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Jess Wright. I'm here at Theater 47 with the amazing John Ruffin, director, writer, producer. I'm missing something.
That's it.
And he's doing an amazing job here. How you doing, John?
I'm good, cuz.
Good. Man, I know we had talked about us getting together and doing something, because a lot of people don't know fully what how you started, how you got things going.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people come to Theater 47 just think it just came out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
But it's a story. So I thought it'd be great for us to sit down,
Yes, sir.
and just talk about, how you got your start,
Okay.
and how everything got going, and things of that nature. So,
Okay.
how did you get your start? Like, what, how did that start for you?
Well, I think you kind of witnessed the start. You know, it started basically as a dream, just as church. And my first show consisted of my family.
Right.
I remember Showers of Blessing. We emptied out the church. That was the sound system. That was the instruments and everything else. And we did it at the R.D. Hinton Cultural Center on, I believe it was like 81st and LaSalle or something like that. But we did that show and started off in the inspirational stage play world. And that's where my claim to fame happened just all those years ago. And then R.D. Hinton, God rest his soul, I remember coming on stage after we did that show, and he told me that he prophesied to me that, what I was doing would reach the masses. And I never thought it was going to come to pass, because I didn't understand what masses meant, so it's based off translation and definition. So, but when I'm at this point now, I realize what he was talking about, and when that comes, there comes a great responsibility. So I started off in the inspirational world and ran that for years. But one thing about it, I always had my thumb on the pulse of what the people were looking for, and rather than what I was always looking for. And then it went into other things, went into other kind of shows, and then finally into owning my own theater. I always say God as a comedian as well, because the name of my theater now is Theater 47. And even though I started when I was like 15 doing this, my real big break didn't come until I was 47 years old.
Wow.
So to stay consistent and persistent was the name of the game, was the name of the, of everything I've ever tried to do. And one thing about it is I always tell people that I talk to, never be afraid to try, or my one thing I love, my little staple remark is hope until you see it. But while you're hoping, keep working.
Absolutely.
And that's what keeps going, and that's what helps you. That's what helps you to get to where you are. So my humble beginnings, I would say, started with just renting venues out.
Right. Okay.
Building stuff that I knew how to do. I always seen it done at the higher level, but never had the capability to do it. But the dream was still there. So as long as you can see it in your head, you have something to shoot for. So that's where it all came down to, because now people see Theater 47, but they didn't see me renting schools, renting any place.
Right.
People don't see them, they don't remember or know about holding rehearsals in funeral homes because that's the only place I had to go.
Yeah.
Sitting in churches and building out theater spaces for myself in halls and so forth like that, because I knew that it had to have a certain look.
Yeah.
Spending nights by myself, putting up curtains, spending nights by myself, building sets, spending nights by myself, staying in buildings longer than they even knew I was in there, because I had to finish the job so that at least my audience would be like, hey, oh my God, this is worth the money.
Right.
Not always able to pay. I remember having a show, only 30 people showed up.
Wow.
So different things like that. Other places where sometimes less than that showed up. So, which makes you question your gift, which makes you question your road to success. Is it even worth it? You know, doing some things wrong by quitting jobs and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do this full time." It wasn't the time to do that. But so that's pretty much my journey, and that's the journey that got there. Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because when you said R.D. Henderson, I remember being a part of the music staff.
You was the drummer.
I was the drummer.
Yes.
And I never forget, it was a scene in the play. Somebody got shot or something.
Yeah,
and it was like, hit the snare.
Yeah.
You know, I still remember that. That kind of stood out to me. But more so than anything, what stood out is that the fact that you was so, now that I remember, you were just so driven about it, you know, and just to see you doing it the way you're doing it.
Yes.
I think I tell you all the time, I am super impressed and just proud of the fact of, you know, knowing where you come from.
Yes.
And still doing it.
Changes. That's why you gotta get used to the naked body, because people be naked, getting changed, because they gotta be right there on that scene. Right. And then so the wardrobe assistants be pulling their clothes off and they putting it back on, then they walk right back on.
Wow.
So props, as you can see, they sitting in there.
So you don't do that. I remember you had this thing on stage where it would like turn.
Yeah, I don't do that no more. That's old school.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do sets. I don't have to do sets anymore. This acts as my set. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
I see what you're saying.
So
when you get in and out of those scenes, this is pretty much that.
This is it. And let me give you one example so you can catch it on here. Let me put it up on the screen.
Stay right here, Trey, because he's about to put it on the screen. He's going to show us right here.
2 to 3 seconds to change all the props on stage. So like this one, this is a cruise ship scene. So now look, see how a person standing on there, that water is moving?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you gotta pay people to do those kind of graphics.
So that's saying y'all mark where they gonna be standing?
As you can see, the floor is marked. It's called spiked. When the floor is spiked, all these marks mean something. You know what I'm saying? And that's where they know where they're supposed to stand at a certain place so that the light, and they can play the light.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's more to it than anything. That's why you see our props on the side. You know, all of them got wheels. Those are called wagons. And the crew, within the musical, the cast is pushing stuff out and everything. It moves like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So you only got seconds to change before the light. And the part is, the music is so trained that when that music stops, BAM! The light's up. And it's gonna play it the same way.
The curtain staying open while it's going?
Curtain staying open while it's right in front of you. That's the magic. Yep. So everything moving right.
So it has to be.
It's got to be precise.
Yeah.
So we know exactly how long that first half is, how long that second half is. We don't miss. So the first half is 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. We're not going to miss. That's not an option. So we can't mess up. You can't stumble. You can't trip. You can't do anything. You got to know where you're going, when you're going. A lot of rehearsal for that. Just to get all that rhythm, that timing. That's why I say it ain't for everybody. Because you got to be disciplined.
I was about to say that. That discipline got to be crazy.
Yeah, so they standing on the side ready for their time. Then they come out here and get in right in place. Same thing with the dancing and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't miss.
Got to be on top of that.
Yep.
Let me ask you, what part did your mom play with this whole doing plays? And
oh my God, what part did mom play? She was my cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I have a degree in business, and that was what I went to school for, was business. You know, but my dream and my passion was the arts. So mama will always tell me, she's like, one day, boy, you got a famous name already. And she said, they're going to know. You got to keep going. You're good at it. You can do it. Even in spite of, it was many times, you know, we cry on mama's shoulder, be like, Mama, I failed again. She's like, did you fail, or did you just do it and it didn't come out like you wanted? Right. And so that always made me rethink it. So when a lot of people would say, no, you can't, or speak negative about it, I always had mama's mouth in my ear, always pushing. So, you know, when I do win awards and so forth like that, I always say, I do this for her. Because when you see when you see me win, you see her win. Mm-hmm. And that's what drives me. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so she was the pivot. She seen every show. There wasn't a show that I didn't do that she would be in that audience. Big or small, she was there. So when it came down to it, it gave me something to say, even with my kids, whatever they're doing, I support it. Just like she would support me. Because a lot of times the kids, our children, don't go in the direction we think they should go in. But if you support the dream, whether they look like they're derailing or not, they will get right back in place. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he depart from it, he's still gonna find his way. And that's what happened with me. I was able to find my way through God's help, through my mother, you know, pushing me, excuse me, making sure that I kept the focus and knowing that first God was my help. Mm-hmm. And if God gave it to me, then I can do it.
This is the amazing Theater 47.
Yes.
And man, this is you guys have did a great job here. Man, this is amazing. And,
thank you.
Like how long? Like I'm sure you've changed lights, paint.
Yeah.
What was that process? Like about how long that process for some of the things that you've upgraded and things of that nature?
Well, you know, when we first started the venue, of course, you know, when you don't have the money, you do everything you can. I was buying mist tint paints and everything else I could in order to get it done. But as time progressed, we were able to go from the analog lights to digital lighting and moving lighting and LED walls and different things like that. Improved our sound system. I mean, it's like night and day compared to what the sound system used to be and how it used to roll. Right. But now we're complimented so much because of our sound system in here, because of how we insulated the ceiling to make sure the sound stays right there on the audience and no echoes and all that other good stuff. So yeah, we keep on evolving. You know, when constantly, I new technology, let's get it right. You know, so
yeah, because it's you could tell that you guys have put in not only the work, but then you guys have put in the finances that to do this, and I think that's the part that sometimes people miss.
Yes,
is that it takes money to do some of the things that you guys been doing here at Theater 47. What would you? Let's say I'm an actor. I'm trying to get into theater. Well, I guess it's a two-part question. As a director and writer of being a theater in theater, whatever the case may be, what is it harder to act for, let's say, like sitcom, TV, or is it harder to act, or have you, when people come to audition, can you tell like people have been doing TV or film versus theater? And as a director, which one you think is harder for people to make that transition as far as acting is concerned?
Well, to be honest with you, they're one and the same to a degree.
Okay.
But there is a difference with stage, and then there's a difference with TV. Okay. With stage, everything is a little bit bigger because you have to make sure the back of the.
So when you say bigger,
you have to literally show your emotions bigger. You
Gotcha.
have to deliver those lines a little bit bigger. Where camera, you can get up close, and you have mics, lapel mics under your clothes, so you don't have to speak as aggressive, or you can really dig into those emotions and get the close-ups.
Right.
Stage is harder because we have to remember the entire script.
Got you.
TV, cut, and they can do it in post, all that good stuff. Yeah.
So let me ask you: as a writer, are you allowed? Is it flexibility with the script? Like, let's say someone's acting in the script. Is it improv? I guess I'm trying to say, like, man, I dropped my line, and how did that work?
No,
like,
it's verbatim.
Okay.
It's verbatim, whatever that script is. There's a certain word that I always use. It's called recovery. Recovery is the improv side.
Gotcha.
So, because sure as the world, everybody blacks out when you're on stage. You will black out your lines. You will forget. That's why it's so important that the stage, your scene partner, you have chemistry. Because the scene partner could lead you right back to where you're supposed to go. But some people say, well, what if you up there by yourself, and you black out? You know what? You got to learn the beats, learn the pauses, and that's where it becomes, if you know the story, you can always, fake your way back to where you need to be.
Wow.
But it's the worst feeling in the world to be on stage and black out. So
as a director, when you see that, are you like, after that scene, are you pulling them to the side, or like they lose confidence, Do they lose confidence?
Well, I've evolved myself. I used to meet them right in the back as soon as they made a mistake, So the involvement of maturing has happened. People make mistakes.
Okay.
And sometimes they already feeling horrible about it.
Okay.
They probably feeling more horrible than you are, because as a writer, no one want to see their baby dropped.
Right.
No one. So when somebody drop your baby, it's already for alarm. But you got to understand, dropping them on the floor and dropping them in the bed are two different things.
Gotcha.
So it all depends the severity of it.
What happened. Okay.
So, but most times, your cast know the lines is verbatim.
Gotcha.
Yep. We don't practice ad-libbing. We practice recovery, but we don't practice ad-libbing.
Okay.
Because it's called muscle memory.
Gotcha.
The more I stretch that muscle, I'm not even going to go that route anyway. So that's how they roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just always curious because it seems like it'd be so many lines.
It does.
And trying to remember that.
Yeah.
And then for you as a director, trying to make sure everyone is locked in on all the scenes, because the average time is what for
2 hours.
Yeah, that's
lot. So you first half will run like an hour 15, second half another hour. But it all depends the role you're playing.
Gotcha.
If you know the story, the lines come to you. You just got to know the story.
Gotcha.
See, people learn differently. Some people try to just learn the lines. That's wrong. Learn the story. Know why. Because what we're doing, acting is nothing but life itself. Mm-hmm. We people watch a whole lot.
Right.
And then we put it on stage. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is we want to check out. I know you guys got take us to the your like you have dressing rooms and all of your when you guys are doing the costume changes.
Got it. Well, this is backstage right here. Backstage is like the actor's office.
Okay.
And so basically, they watching the show right here so they know when it's prompted and when to go out there so they ain't on the stage looking up the curtain and all that. We don't have stage managers. So my cast is so well rehearsed that they know when they're supposed to be out there. We've gotten so many accolades around the country, like y'all don't get nobody's called.
That's what I was wow. No, so they just that's
know,
amazing.
And but we rehearse it like that. So nobody's looking for you. You know what that show is.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we have flow charts like this. This is an entire show. You see what I'm saying? Knowing what character, props, notes, everything. When a set enters, when a set exits, who got what mic, what songs are going to be in that scene, what scenes are happening. As you can see, we had this little pointer. Everybody just be moving it when we finish with a scene so that you can know where you're at. Because sometimes you will get lost. So that's it. So it seems crazy, and it is. You know, it tells you what props in the show, everything, when you enter, what, all of that.
Wow. So what? Man, that's interesting. It's almost like a playbook or something for football.
Yeah, it is
a playbook to.
It literally is.
You know what I mean? What made you do that? Like,
well, you know what? This comes from working with good staff. They came up with this.
Got you.
Because I used to just do the scene and something else. I have staff members like Santella, who's the company manager. You have Red Sarita, who's our prop master, and Carl Easter, who is my right hand. That's my assistant director. So they work on this stuff, and then they post it. I don't even look at it. This is my first time looking at it.
Wow,
so
impressive.
they have to be that accurate in order to get this right.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so that's how that goes. So they're back here. This is where they are. Most time they're just sitting around goofing off. As you can see, our mics are here, our lobs are here, and we make sure that, you know, they grab the right lobs. As you can see, we know what mic assignments, so nobody ever have to guess what we're doing. As you can see here, this is our Walk of Fame. This is where everybody who's ever been in the show, who's ever graced here, has signed this. We done had people like Judge Mathis here. We done had Chrisette Michelle, Lenny Williams. You can go on Joe Torre, you know, John Hinton, you know, all these different people. This is not even half of what we've done, but this is what I felt like putting up. This is all I, you know.
This is great.
Yeah,
really great.
So so not only do we do our actors that we have here, we also, you know, I started off with the celebrities. You know, I could go through the alphabet 3 times with the number of celebrities who've been in my shows.
Yeah.
But one thing I stopped doing with the celebrity, I didn't say stop, but one night God just really impressed on me. He said, you know, those people already have a name. It's time for you to birth new stars. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what that meant until I got this place. So now when we tour, we don't have to tour with names. Our names rolling up, and now people are now making them celebrities. That's how it comes. Yeah, so this is one of the dressing rooms here. This is the ladies' dressing room, which is probably a lot messier than all the guys. As you can see, this is their wardrobe just for one show. You know, so when you're looking at it, all the wigs and everything. So when we're doing this, we supply everything: shoes, wigs, clothes.
Are you going to like a specialty short store for this stuff, or?
Well, our wardrobe stylist, who's over our costumes, that's Jocelyn Johnson and Rosalind Bach. I think that's her last name. They do all this. They just want to know what's in my head. And so we talk, we consult, and then from there, they build it out. They create a lot of this stuff, you know, sewing and the whole nine, getting the fabric, putting it together. Yeah. So it's a long process, and major ups to Jocelyn, because they keep the pressure off me. And, you know, Jocelyn used to do it at church, you know, little stuff like that. I saw her potential. Right. And if you got that much potential, I can work with you, because that's all we all started off with.
Sure.
You know, when you was on the drum beating, I remember when you were just beating with one stick. And your Uncle Lloyd, you know, then mentored you into it. That's awesome. That's all people need, who's really serious about it. Yeah. And you become an expert at it, you know? Yeah.
So what I'm getting from you and what I'm saying is that it's like a culture that you guys kind of create here.
It is.
47.
It's a family. Yeah. And that was my main thing, to create that family feeling. Mm-hmm. You know, now don't get me wrong. We always say it like this. We have, it's a community theater with a professional essence, you know, meaning that I train you here, only train you here so that when we hit the professional stage, you're prepped. Yeah. You're ready. So this is our own little village, you know, so anyone that come in, You know, it's like that old slogan in Church of God in Christ. You can't join in. You got to be born here.
Right.
It doesn't fit for everyone.
Right.
But if the ones who belong here, it fits perfect.
Yeah, man, this is
Yes.
this is an amazing thing. And you know what? I'm huge with, as we are owning, like you own the theater.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
I think people need to understand
Yes.
that this is not a rental space.
Right. Exactly.
John owns this theater.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
I could stay in here all night if I wanted.
Right.
But it is open for others who want to rent it. It ain't just for us, but we do allow other playwrights, other artists. You did concerts here.
Absolutely.
You know, I allow that so that people can groom their craft.
Mm-hmm.
Then they need a platform.
Yeah.
You know, and it shouldn't break them over the head, over
Right.
the veins. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, this is amazing. We had an amazing time.
Yes.
With John Ruffin, the amazing playwright. He act too, y'all. So don't get it twisted. He can act.
Yes.
This has been an amazing time at Theater 47 with Mr. John Ruffin.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
we're out of here.
All right.